Okay, so I'm Emily Roberts. If we haven't met yet, I hope to meet you in Nashville in June at convention. I'm going to kick this call off with Plexus Block. That is our product of the night. I'm not going to talk about it for 10 minutes. Last week, we talked about balance. The two products are very similar. Block is something you would take right before quote unquote a cheat meal or pizza or pie or something like that. Balance is one that you can just take with your Slim in the daytime. It's going to work throughout the day. Block works pretty much immediately within the 30 minutes of eating that food. It helps with lowering the glycemic index of the carbohydrates. So for those of you that are new here and you don't have a great relationship with food, let me tell you something. Carbs are your friend. You need them for energy. You need them to fuel your body. They're not bad. Taco Bell, bad, okay? But carbs like starchy sweet potatoes and vegetables, those things are not bad. Even bread, I start my day with some sourdough bread and oatmeal, you guys. But the thing is, all of our bodies are different and our metabolism is different. And so when you consume 2 capsules of Block before you eat the carbohydrates, it's going to help lower your glycemic index. And basically it helps your body break down the sugars before they're turned into glucose, and then your blood sugar spike, right? Think about it. How many of you take your kids to get a donut on Fridays before school, right? And by the time you are dropping them off, they're like, bing, 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 and they're all up in the car and they're crazy. And you're like, bye, sorry, teachers, right? That's kind of a great example of what is going on internally when you consume too many carbohydrates and too much sugar. And so Block basically comes in and helps to slow that process down and slows the absorption of sugar down in your body. You can take 1 capsule, you can take 2. Some cool ingredients, the white kidney bean and the seaweed extract, that's what's going to help make you feel fuller. I do not have any Block on me. We are actually Balance people. I think they're both great products, but after talking to the research and development team at Plexus, scientifically on paper, Balance is just a better product paired with Slim Hunger Control for maintaining weight loss. It's also a great product to use to prevent heart disease and for diabetics or those suffering with pre-diabetes. So this is just a great product to have on hand. If you live in the South, it should be on your shelf. It should be in your pantry because we be eating carbs all the time, right? Moms, if you have lots of pizza Friday nights, it's a great product to have on hand. So add it to your subscription, give it a try, maybe kind of test it out yourself. Which one do you think is better, Block or Balance? And do that. That's all I got for you. If you want more information, we have tons on each product and Plexus People and Products. That's our customer support page. You can also find more information online when you log into your website. Now, tonight, our special guest. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm going to introduce Christina first. May, you get to close this out. Christina, I like her a lot because, like I said, she could probably bench press me or deadlift me. I'd probably let her. But even more than her strength, she has a fantastic business testimony, and I learned something from her every time I rewatch her training videos that she posts on the internet. I always watch them. She is a tough lover, very similar to your leadership you get from me. She doesn't beat around the bush. She delivers. But the cool thing about Christina is she was a teacher. So unlike me, she's going to lay it out like a teacher and spell it out for you, where I'm just like looking you in between your eyes. I'm like, figure it out. She's going to help you figure it out. Okay. There's a little bit of a difference there. So Christina, I'm going to shut up and I'm going to let you do your thing because I love you, and feel free to kind of give them a little bit of a background just because I didn't announce you with all your stats.
Yeah, absolutely. What's up, you guys? Thank you so much for the invite to hang out tonight. What I love about Emily, among many things, is just the fact that she is just real life. So when life happened today and my best friend and her family of 19 children show up at my house, they live out of town, but they're here. And so that means the afternoon looked different. And so you get me without mascara or earrings. So, but we're here and I'm pumped to get to share a little bit with you guys tonight. Something about me. I have 4 kids. I heard Brittany coined this phrase the other day. They're all ages, all stages. So I have 1 in college, 1 in high school, 1 in 2nd grade, and 1 in pre-K. I don't know why we did that to ourselves. Her and I both, like, we will actually never be done raising kids, which is super fun. By the time we are done, we're going to have a slew of grandkids. And so it keeps life exciting around here. So School teacher by trade. Yes. Always knew I would be an educator. There's just something about being an instrument or a tool in someone's knowledge breakthrough. Love it. Love that in this industry, I get the ability to scratch that same itch for teaching. I just love that my paycheck now does not reflect that of an educator, but that of a brain surgeon. And so I feel like that's kind of what this knowledge is worth, right? Tell people all the time, I loved teaching, but I need to be taught like we were creating the future doctors and presidents and lawyers of America. And so this allows me to feel, that I'm being rewarded for my efforts, which is super fun. So if you've never considered what it would be like to have a brain surgeon paycheck, that is your first homework assignment for today is what the heck would you do if you were making $25,000 in a month? What would you do? How would you spend it? Would you spend it? Out of my 4 kids, one of them would have it spent before he got it, and the other one would never spend a dime. So what would you do? How would you spend your money? Because that's actually going to be kind of what I talk about tonight. My topic is consistency. That is generally what I'm tasked with teaching. When I get to do calls like this, it's either going to be consistency or grit or come teach us that topic. If it's to be, it's up to me. And I think that I get tasked with that because people have realized through the years that one thing I have seen to master is I refuse to be controlled by my feelings. I do not operate out of what I feel about something, whether that be fitness, whether that be business, whether that be relationships. Still working on that one. But for the most part, I'm going to do what needs to be done regardless of how I feel about it. It just doesn't matter. I don't even usually entertain the feeling. Like I'm not even aware of what the feeling is. If the feeling is fear, or fear is my number one, but if I have to fight an emotion, it's going to be that. Okay. But when it comes to like working out, some people have to fight shame, or they have to fight laziness, or they have to fight pain, or they have to fight embarrassment. They have to fight slow. Like the process and progress can be slow in fitness. I just never really care how I feel, because here's the key. You wish that you could operate that way. I'm about to tell you the key. The key is clarity. The key is clarity. Why I'm willing to endure what I'm willing to endure in the gym with a trainer, with my macro coach. And this has been a process for years. The reason I'm trying to endure and willing to endure is because I'm very clear on where I'm going. Very clear. When I was prepping for a bikini show, it wasn't let me eat 6 stalks of asparagus in tilapia because I enjoy it. It was, this is where I'm going to go, and this is the means by which I'm going to get there. So I'll endure 6 pieces of asparagus and 4 ounces of baked, plain, no flavor tilapia 4 times a day because it's going to get me where I'm going. Kind of like the turnpike in Florida. If you're going to go to Disney, I'm from Georgia. If you're going to go to Disney World, you don't really care about how many tolls you have to go through to get there. You don't really care if there's an accident on the turnpike. You don't really care if you have to pay triple the gas prices to get gas on the turnpike. You're going to endure the path because you're really clear what's waiting at the other side. What I find to be the caveat for people who struggle with consistency in this business is not a lack of self-discipline necessarily. It's a lack of clarity. It's a lack of, is what I'm going through actually going to get me where I want to go? Because I've heard some people say, well, if you could just guarantee me that in X amount of hours or X amount of years or X amount of struggles, I'm going to have the $25,000 a month paycheck, well, sure, I'd be willing to endure. What they're saying is, if you could promise, if you could guarantee I could get there. And the cool thing is diamond is just math. It's just numbers. We kind of look at 1,500 or 3,000 or 4,500 and we think that's mystical. That feels like luck would be required. That feels fuzzy. It's actually just math. So whatever got you to silver, senior silver, gold, those are numbers. Those same numbers will eventually add up over time if you're doing the right things with the right consistency and effort. They add up, they accumulate. Right? Not that people are numbers if they account for points, but okay. So consistency. When you talk about being, it's probably not, I'm on a call. I'm on a call. My internet's probably not the only thing unstable in my home currently. But when we think about what do we have to be consistent in? Let me go ahead and give you the key for that also. You need to get real consistent in the one thing in your business you've been avoiding. Maybe you're not doing business reach outs. I'm just not going to lead with the opportunity. It's just so much more comfortable to just talk products. Like, I'm just going to do that. Get real consistent with challenging yourself to a business reach out once a day. Maybe you are not doing welcome calls on the phone. Well, I just don't know what to say on a welcome call. I don't know how to cast vision. That can't be true, because there are resources on public YouTube channels where it is laid out for you in flowcharts. That can't be true. Get real consistent in that. Bob Heilig says that if we would get real consistent on the thing that makes us the most uncomfortable, 9 times out of 10, that's the thing that's going to turn the needle in your business. So, no matter time. What do you have to be consistent in? You got to get real consistent at staying in the uncomfortable zone. You're going to have to stay in the uncomfortable zone. If you're spending 90% of your Plexus business feeling real comfortable, you're doing it wrong. Because even as diamonds who are paid brain surgeon salaries, we're all in the uncomfortable pool all the time. Brittany's in the uncomfortable pool all the time because she's crafting a podcast and it requires her to think so deeply and then go have an outpouring of herself. She could just say, I'd rather not. That requires a lot. Now that she's done it, she's on episode 15. Now that she's done it, there's a ton of pressure to keep doing it well. It would be way easier to not. But what you got to get real consistent at is doing what's opposite of easy. Go be willing to do what most people would avoid. That's that last set of reps in the gym. That's that last business reach out. That's telling somebody, no, I can't actually go to lunch tomorrow because that's actually my IPA time. And this is important to me. So I'm going to have to pass. I know it's a really good thing to have to pass up lunch with you, but listen, where I'm going, what I'm building, it's even better. So get real consistent at being uncomfortable, because that's what it's going to take your business to the next level. So those resources, they're all over our YouTubes, you guys. If you need to know what to say to somebody about the business, there's great training. Go find my YouTube channel. It's all right there for you. Emily's got fantastic. Listen, we were watching Emily's training before we were ever anything. So you have great leadership. Go be willing to do the thing you're avoiding. Okay, that's it. And don't tell anybody I came without mascara.
Yeah. Thank you, Christina. Oh my gosh, you guys, if you didn't write down at least 5 things, were you listening? I mean, feed your kids, tuck them in, but were you listening? What I took away was you need to get consistent with what you are avoiding. Leaders are not avoiders. Leaders are not avoiders. We are learners, we are readers, and we are listeners. And leaders ask great questions. If you are avoiding your team, get to know them by asking questions, right? And your team are your VIP customers, your neighbor that ordered Slim from you, your kid's teacher who asked you about triplex. Get to know them. If you're avoiding reach outs, why? Is it your fear of rejection? Okay, why are we avoiding that? You got some childhood trauma we need to unpack? We get at that. Let's do it. But whatever you're avoiding is the reason why you're not progressing and growing. Tonight, my son in the car on the way home, my middle child, you guys know, bless him, my middle child, he is the problem child, okay? And tonight, they were messing with each other in the very back seat. My in-laws were in the middle. And next thing I know is my mother-in-law is wailing, holding her eyeball and wailing. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what did y'all do? You know what I'm talking about, moms? You flip that rear view mirror up and you're looking at them and you're like, what happened? And she's just holding her eye. And my middle child's like, what? Or my oldest is like, what? I'm sorry. Is she okay? What? You know, kind of being a jerk. And it got real quiet. I'm like, when we get home, y'all are going to brush your teeth, take some showers, and go to bed. Like, I'm just, mommy's done. And my middle child, the car kind of goes quiet. And he goes, Mom, it was my fault. I was messing with him and he flipped the hat and it hit Mima in the face. I'm so sorry, Mom. I'm so sorry, Mima. I thought Scotty was going to cry, and y'all know he ain't a crier. And he looked at me and I looked at him. We both went, personal growth. Because when it happens to you, you don't realize it's happening. But when you see it in others, then that's what I do as a leader. I show you and I tell you when I see growth. Tonight, I got to witness it as a mom, which is really cool. But you don't know that you're growing until you see the fruit of that labor, right? And so when you do these things that are making you uncomfortable, we're over here going, personal growth as your leaders, because we're so proud of you, because we are making the 25K a month. We did make the $900 a month. We were once upon a time silver. We once upon a time sent that message and got a big old middle finger thumbs up. We know, we've seen it all. I've been cussed out, blocked, avoided at church, all the things. And what did I tell myself? People aren't going to know about Plexus until I tell them. And I've told y'all that for 8.5 years. People won't know until you tell them. Just ask, have you ever heard of Plexus? You ever tried it? I got a pink drink in my purse. You want it? I got a pink drink in my baby bag, in my diaper bag, in my backpack, in my baseball bag, whatever. Okay. And now you guys, because I've been consistent, like Christina said, for 8 years, I have people going, hey, you have that pink drink in your baseball bag? I've been meaning to ask you about it. Sure do. And if I don't, I'll get it to them. Okay. So go be willing to do what others are avoiding, because it's true. It's so true. If you took something else away from that, please put it in the chat. If not, tell Christina thank you, so she can go spend some time with her amazing friends. I'm so jealous. Let's all road trip to Georgia and go see Brittany and Christina. I bet that's a good time. Thank you so much for being on. May and I got to meet last year. She has an incredible product testimony. Tonight, you're going to hear about that. And what I love about May is that she was just bold and fearless. I was introduced to her at an event and she was like, oh, I know who you are. You know, I follow you on Instagram. And I was like, well, I want to know who you are, because you went senior Ruby really quickly at the time. I think you were Ruby at the time. And I was like, tell me all the things. Like, what are you doing? And we just connected. She is a mom, and I'm just going to kind of share a little personal thing. So since that, it's been over a year, May reached out and was like, hey, can I pay you to coach me? So we did this one-on-one thing. And if y'all didn't know, that's what I do on the side when I'm not loving on y'all. I'm getting paid to love on others. So I'm talking to her and we're walking through her mindset and we're walking through her business. And what's really cool about May is her resiliency. She is getting, I'm talking like punch to the jaw, not physically, by the way, this is a metaphor. Like, she's got some blows coming her way from family, from friends, from people leaving and quitting and all the different things, but she's resilient. And she's like, I'm going emerald. We're growing. I don't care if it's 5-point growth or 100-point growth. We're growing. And tonight, she was telling me her product story, because that's what she used to lead with. Now she leads with the business because she knows better. But she was leading with her product story we're too long, but I was blown away by it. So I invited her to come share a little bit about PCOS. So if you have someone in your life that you know struggles with PCOS, a VIP customer, family member, friend, listen in, take some notes so that you can go find May on Instagram or Facebook and share her testimony with them. We have a lot of people on our team that struggle with this, May. So take it away and please share your story with us.
Yes, well, thanks for having me. Hey, y'all, my name is May Adams. I started Plexus back in June of 2020. I was struggling with a lot. Just to name a few: weight gain, depression, anxiety, joint pain, all of that. But I was really struggling with endometriosis and PCOS. When I was 21 years old, after having my son, I was told that I wasn't going to be able to have any more kids after him because my endometriosis had really progressed. And, you know, when you're young and you only have one, I wanted more. I wanted a big family. And it really hit me hard. So we struggled to have we ended up having our second child, our little girl. She's our middle child now. But we really struggled with my endometriosis and getting pregnant, and I miscarried a lot. I struggled with infertility due to it. And I actually had to have DNCs. My first DNC was at 14 weeks. And my doctor said, May, stop doing this to yourself. Your body can't take it. You can't have babies anymore. It's really progressed. And, you know, they were talking about other surgeries and I just didn't accept that. I was like, no, I want more kids. So I'm stubborn. And we ended up having medical intervention to have Layla. After Layla, my doctor said, May, you really need to stop. Your body is not going to take it. Your your PCOS is really bad. So we were talking about surgery, and then my endometriosis had gotten even worse. And I was just struggling. I couldn't get out of bed during my cycles. It was really bad. And my friend, who is my sponsor now, reached out to me and she said, "Hey, have you ever heard of the pink drink?" And I rolled my eyes because I wasn't interested. I had tried everything out there. Nothing ever helped me. If anything, it left me feeling worse. But I ended up giving it a try. She sent me lots of testimonies of, other women who had gotten pregnant on the triplex. And I didn't think that was the issue for me. I didn't think my gut played a big role with like my endometriosis and PCOS, but I gave it a try. And 4 months into, actually, backtrack, all of those other things that I mentioned at the beginning, a month into the triplex, I started feeling better. I started running because I wasn't having any more joint pain. I lost weight. I was just feeling better overall. And then 4 months into the triplex, I found out that I was pregnant with Matthew, our third baby. And what's such a blessing because I didn't have to have any medical intervention. I went to my doctor and I was like, I can't believe this. Am I really pregnant? And at first they told me I was having another miscarriage. And I was like, what? Okay. We're done trying after this. Like, we're just done because I can't go through another DNC. Well, I went to my second appointment and there was a very healthy baby. They drew my labs and she was like, "Oh my gosh, your labs are phenomenal. What are you doing?" And I showed her my Plexus stuff. I said, "Can I take this since I'm pregnant?" And she looked at me and she was like, "Oh my gosh, Plexus. I take Plexus." She was like, "I'm very familiar with Plexus." She said, "Continue to take it. If anything, don't stop it because not only is it going to help you, but it's going to help the baby." And I went on to have the best pregnancy, y'all. And I just had a well woman exam not too long ago, and I'm clear of endometriosis, which is crazy because they say there is no cure for endometriosis, and even surgery may not even help. But as of today or last month, I don't have any more endometriosis. So I thank God and I thank my products. And that's my testimony.
Y'all, I know this is recorded. Don't worry. I'm going to put the disclaimer on the internet because Plexus products do not intend to cure, treat, or prevent any diseases. However, y'all, we have May, we have me, we have Angie, we got Riley, we got Brooke, we got Hannah, we got Kim, we got all the people that we know that don't have the mystery symptoms anymore.
Oh, hold on. Sorry to interrupt.
Tell me more.
My cycles are not painful anymore. I work out. I actually texted my best friend and I said, "Oh my gosh, I started and I didn't even feel it. I couldn't even tell I was starting." And usually, you blow and you're in pain, especially if you have endometriosis, you can't do anything. And I was working out and then I found out I was on my cycle and I was like, really? I mean, thank God, but gosh. So it's amazing. I love my products.
I'm so overjoyed for you. And I was like telling myself, I'm like, don't cry. Because if somebody cries and it just like the ripple effect happens, right? But you have so many women and men, couples on this call that are listening that have been in a similar position or know somebody in their life that has struggled with this. So May, thank you so much for boldly sharing and courageously sharing because it is a big deal. It is a big deal. And you guys, you can look left, you can look right, you can look at shiny thing, you can look at makeup, you can look at hair care, you can look at cleaning products, whatever you want. There's a million MLM companies out there, millions, okay? There's $1 billion industry. I'm very proud of that. I'm very proud of what we do here. But at the end of the day, Plexus has been talking about gut health since 2008, since the year I graduated high school, before I even knew Plexus existed, before I knew any of you, which blows my mind. We have been the OG gut health company for years in the running. We just light years ahead of the science. Our other companies are imitating what we've done. I've told you this before, I'll tell you again, their CEOs call our CEO and they're like, how do you create that one Plexus culture y'all all post about on, social media. And before it was Tarl, now it's Jean. And they're like, that's not something they just do. We just are. We are one Plexus, and we have integrity, and we make our products well. And we, talk about things compliantly. That's why I'm going to share the disclaimer, because I know. But y'all have to understand that gut health is imminent. It is forever. Just like we're going to brush our teeth, and just like we're going to take baths, right? Gut health is like an internal bath for your body. And the cool thing about that is it's beyond PCOS and endometriosis and stories like May. I mean, your gut has a microbiome. So does your scalp. So does your face. We have little microbiomes all over our body. So using the triplex is not just supporting just that. You're literally taking care of everything. And so stories like this exist all over our team. We have thousands and thousands of stories just like this. If you want to read more, or a sideline story like May's, you can look at that in Plexus People and Products, our customer page. When they send me when they send me their story, I post it in that group. Unless I find it like May. I was introduced to May, and I went and Facebook stalked her, because I'm like, I got to know more about her. She's brilliant. I love it. And you can't help but listen to someone like that, because you can genuinely hear the joy in her voice from finding relief. And there are some things that you can do to make your products work well for you. And that is drinking more water, trying to get outside. If you have sunshine in your area, get in the sun, right? Move your body daily. And then take your products every day. If I'm being honest, I have to set reminders and alarms to this day. Because when I started, I only had one kid. Now we got 3. I got to set reminders. Okay. But the beauty of that is now I have the joy of telling others about what I'm taking and why. So I hope tonight's call encouraged you and fired you up to get consistent, not just in your products, but in your business, to stop avoiding things, right? To maybe give Plexus Block a try, add it to your triplex, add it to your subscription. I think it is a fantastic product to have on game days or pizza Fridays, like, all the things. Thank you, May's team, for jumping on. You are so welcome. I loved having you guys here tonight. I am going to close us out, and then I'll send you on your